Welcome to Thoughts of the Day, daily devotions with Youth with a Mission.
Hi lovely family, let me take you on a little journey today. Last days I've been reading the Psalms and I've seen how applicable these are for these times of turmoil, times of stress, times of loads of thoughts and emotions in our mind and in our heart. They're really cool to read through, and it helped me the last days to really focus on who God is. So let me take you through them. Psalm 1, we see David realizing that he needs to start with God. He needs to sit with him, he needs to ponder on what God has given him. And there you see, then he will be a tree rooted at living waters. That's the source where David is coming from, God, God's heart. In Psalm 2, we see the nations pulling away from God. And then God is reacting on that. And first he's kind of laughing about it, mocking it. But he says, there can be anger as well from me, like a wrath. And then the Holy Spirit in the end of that psalm is trying to convince the nations to come back to him. Obviously they don't do that, because in Psalm 3-7 you see David pouring out all his emotions, raw emotions, his pain, his confusion, his doubts, because his enemies are on top of him. And he is just asking God to come to his rescue with so much raw emotions. And it feels perhaps that's like these days. Our emotions are roller coasters, and we can pour them out to God. When we have been sitting with him, we can pour them out to him, really show who we are, and literally shedding tears. That's what David did. Then when we look at Psalm 8, we see that David is realizing who God is, because it starts and it ends with kind of the same verse, same sentence. And it says, Lord, O Lord, how majestic, how excellent, how glorious is your name over all the earth. The beginning and the end, he says that. Hey, Alpha and Omega, how fun. In the middle of that, so in between the Alpha and the Omega, we see David finding God and finding his own identity by looking at creation and looking at what the role of mankind is. And it feels like in that middle part, he is finding his rest and his peace. And then we go to Psalm 9, where he is pouring out his emotions again, but differently, because Psalm 9 is a psalm full of triumphant thanks and worship. And that's what David is doing. Thanking God out of faith for what he's going to do, worshipping him. And in the middle of that, his enemies flee from him. And I feel in this time, Satan is trying to withdraw us from really bringing the kingdom, or trying to stop us, or trying to slow us down. But I think after pouring out our emotions, we can still trust God, find him in that rest, in that peace, and start thanking him, start worshipping him, and our enemy will flee. We have that authority to do that. So start thanking him in faith for what he's going to do.